श्रीमान वेंकटनाथार्य कवितार्किक केसरी वेदांताचार्य वर्यो मे सन्निधत्तां सदा कृते श्रीवासरंग परकाल मुनित्रयाप्त लक्ष्मात्मरक्षणेतुत्योगागमान्तम् आचार्य भक्ति परिपूतमनर्गशीलं गोपाल देशिक मुनिं गुरुमाश्रयामः। व्यासं वसिष्ठनप्तारं शक्तेः पौत्रमकल्मषं पराशरात्मजं वन्दे सुखतातं तपोनिधिं। व्यासाय विष्णुरूपाय व्यासरूपाय विष्णवे नमो वै ब्रह्मनिधये वासिष्ठाय नमो नमः। सो यत्र योगेश्वर कृष्णो यत्र पार्थो धनुर्धरः तत्र श्रीर्विजयो भूति ध्रुवानीतिर्मतिर्मम. So we would continue with the Bhagavad Gita essence. So far we have covered 5 chapters and today we will enjoy the 6th chapter. As I was mentioning in the beginning, and Swami Yamunacharya, also called as Alavandar, he mentioned that he split the Bhagavad Gita into 3 parts. The first 6 chapters, the second 6 chapters, and the third 6 chapters. So here, the first 6 chapters talks about Karma Jnana Yoga, which culminates into Bhakti Yoga, which is being described in the next 6 chapters, from 7 to 12. Then the final 6 chapters are recapitulating or reinforcing what was mentioned in the first 12 chapters. So it is to make sure that Arjuna understands. It is to make sure that we understand. So that's because of the Vatsalyam and Paramakarunyam of Lord Krishna, the Gitacharya. He repeated and he also gave it in a different dose so that it is easier for us to understand the last 6 chapters. So here we will enter into the 6th chapter, which is called Dhyana Yoga. It's called Dhyana Yogo Nama Shashtodhyayaha. It's Dhyana Yoga. And Swami Yamunacharya mentions about this entire 6 chapters in one sloka, which is the 10th slokam in Gita-artha Sangraha. Sangraha means summary. Gita Artha Sangraha, the summary of Gita meaning. So, Yoga Abhyasa Vidir Yogi Chaturdha Yoga Sadhanam Yoga Siddhisva Yogasya Paramyam Shashta Uchate. Yoga Abhyasa Vidir Yogi Chaturdha Yoga Sadhanam Yoga Siddhi Swa Yogasya Paramyam Shashta Uchate, the 6th chapter. In the 6th chapter, the following are described, the following are dealt with. And what are those following? Number 1, how to practice the yoga, the Karma Jnana Yoga, Karma Yoga or Jnana Yoga, resulting in the visualization of the self, the vision of the self, the understanding, the revelation of the self. Self means our Atma, the Atma, the one who is inside us, inside this body. And who is us? We are the Atma. We are not the body, we are the Atma. So that is why Aham Atma, na Dehosmi. I am the Atma, not the Deham, not the body. So we will be able to visualize the self. How to practice the yoga consisting of the vision of the self, which is attainable through the Jnana Yoga and or Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga will lead to Jnana Yoga, which will lead to the vision of the self, or Karma Yoga itself will lead to the vision of the self, Atma. That is the number 1. How to practice the yoga, which is described in the 6th chapter. Then he also described Krishna, the 4 different yogis. What are the 4 stages of yogi? 4 types of yogis he mentions. And the third, the requirements, the prerequisites for securing the vision of the self. What are the requirements for securing the vision of the self? That's what he talks about. Namely, the practice, the detachment, etc. And 4, yoga once begun never goes waste, for even by one who had fallen on the way. Krishna is going to tell. Arjuna says, okay, I start, I try to focus, I concentrate, but I keep doing and I fall. I'm not able to concentrate, I'm not able to have vairagyam, I'm not able to have the determination, I'm not able to practice uninterruptedly, and I die. So, next birth, if at all I get a human birth, and if at all I get an opportunity to start, do I have to start again from LKG, UKG, then go to the university and do the doctoral program again? Krishna says, no. Whatever that you left in your previous janma, that will never go waste. Even by one who has fallen on the way, even if you slipped, if you have decided to come to Vishnu Sahasranama class, to learn little bit and to accomplish little bit, and then we do not master it, we do not become an expert, we try to make mistakes and we pass away in the process, it will never ever go waste. Nothing will go waste. No good deed will go waste. Of course, no bad deed will go unpunished. So we should also remember that nothing will go waste. Nothing will be left untouched by the Lord. He will either bless us because of the good deed, or it will not go unpunished. That's number 4. Number 5, how this vision of the self will lead to Bhakti Yogam, which will be in the next chapter, next 6 chapters. So, what we are going to see is opening up a treasure trove of knowledge, of Anandam, Peranandam. And it's not it's not just watching some movies or watching some series. It's ultimate absolute bliss. And once you get into the groove, you will be able to see how it opens up, how it gets revealed to us, each one. Krishna slowly and steadily takes it up and he beautifully brings it forward. So here we mention that Arjuna is asking, even the person who has fallen down from the practice of yoga, not suffering any adverse effects, is attaining the world reached by men of merit. So the first 6 chapters deals with the vision of the self. So the last verse of this chapter provides an introduction to the next 6 chapters, which is the Bhakti Yoga. So here Arjuna mentions, Krishna, in earlier 5 chapters, you have elaborately explained Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga fructified by Karma Yoga, and Karma Yoga having the limb, the knowledge of the real nature of the self. Please explain the yoga. What is the vision of the self? What is the samadhi? What is the ultimate destination of the Karma Yoga? Together with its parts. He says, I have already explained to you, but I would still repeat. One should regularly perform the duties. He says, it's a means for attaining the direct apprehension, the understanding of the Jivatma. So I make my view clear that only that is to be practiced. That is, one should regularly perform our swadharma, our duties, whatever that is, householder, student, teacher, or grahastha, whatever duties, the role that we take up, it needs to be done. Brahmana, Kshatriya, whatever it is, that duty has to be performed without desiring any benefit out of the action. like Swargam or fruit of these works, performed thus, they transform as an act of worship to Bhagavan. Only that person performs works, the action, without any desire of the result, but only act as Tiruvaradhanam, Aradhanam for Bhagavan, worship of Bhagavan, undertaken for that alone, for that purpose, to please the Lord, as a samarpana. Whatever that I do, it is for Him. Only such a person becomes a Jnana Yogi or a Karma Yogi, also a Karma Yogi. So he says, okay, Arjuna says, you speak of the perform. I will just tell the summary today, and we will go into few slokas next class. So you speak of the performer of the work as a yogi or as a sannyasi, the one who has renounced. So as he, the one who undertakes works as a yogi, he can be called. But who is the sannyasi? Who he has renounced? What is he renouncing? Performing work is not renunciation, is it? So he got confused. You are saying sannyasi, you are saying yogi. What is that? Kaunteya, the son of Kunti, knowledge regarding the real nature of the Atma, the real nature of our Jivatma, is only said to be sannyasa, the Jnana Yoga. That's nothing but sannyasa Jnana Yoga. The understanding or the knowledge of the self, taken as an attribute of the Karma Yoga, which is also called yoga. This sannyasa is referred to as yoga. So sannyasam and yoga are two same things, synonyms. So listen to my further detailed explanation. Through uninterrupted inquiry into the real nature of the self. Who am I? Am I the mind? Am I the intellect? Am I the body? Am I the what? Who am I? I was the same when I was born. I am the same when I am going to die. But completely the body transforms, the intellect transforms, the mind transforms, everything transforms. No more, it's not the same head, same hair, same body, same contours, nothing. Everything is changed. So the real nature of the self, you have to inquire. The delusion of looking upon as the body of the self is removed. Looking as the Sariram is the Atma, that concept needs to be removed. He who has thus relinquished that idea that I am the Deham, that person is a sannyasa. That is the bereft of the attribute, the continuous inquiry into the nature of the self. So, Arjuna asks, you say Karma Yoga has to be practiced without any desire for the fruit. How long it is to be practiced? One day practice enough, or it has to be practiced until you realize the vision of the self? Krishna says Karma Yoga has been prescribed as the means to attain the real nature of the self. It has to be performed till you achieve the goal of the vision of the self. When does one get established? Krishna says, when the yogi experiences the self, the Atma, he would not have any attachment for the sense objects, the Vishaya Sukham, the phone, the food, the betel leaves, the sweet. He would not have any attachment to that. He will lose attachment for things other than the self. It's called Jivatma Sakshatkara, the vision of the self. So he says, Arjuna, raising the self beyond the body, it is by focusing the mind, focusing within. So the mind is to be concentrated, focused. And How can the mind be focused? Krishna says, mind can be a friend as well as mind can be a enemy. How can a mind be a friend as well as enemy? So, there is an Upanishad called the Amrita Bindu Upanishad. It says, Manayeva Manushyana Karanam Bandha Moksha Yoho Bandhaya Vishaya Sango Muktyai Vishayam Manaha. Vishnu Purana and Amrita Bindu Upanishad mention this. Manayeva Manushyana Karanam Bandha Moksha Yoho. If the mind is under control, it can be made as an instrument or as a friend in seeing, in vision, in understanding of our Atma. If the mind can be controlled, that is, we can see the Atma. We can have a visualization of the Atma. We can understand the Atma. And if it does not come under control, if the mind goes haywire, if the mind goes astray, it's not in our hands. If the mind, suppose, then it can play havoc like an enemy, preventing the sight of Atma. So controlling the mind is possible only for one who views the equanimities. If they view the heat and the cold as equal, the joy and the sorrow as equal, the praise and the insult as equal, a gold and a clay or stone as equal, and they see this is achetana, the matter. They see the people, a well-wisher, a friend, an enemy, a one who is indifferent, the one who is neutral, the one who hates me, the one who is a relative, the one who is a saint, the one who is a sinner, everything they see equal. And that's what he mentions in this wonderful sloka. It is in the 8th sloka of this chapter. And so he mentions, Krishna says, that person who is able to control the mind, he treats alike the well-wisher, the friend, the foe, the indifferent person, the neutral, the hater, the relation, the bandhu, the saint, the papi, everybody is same. And he sees the non-sentient object, the matter, as equal, whether it's a gold or a stone. There was a Sri Vaishnava Acharya by name Vedanta Desika. He used to go for Unchavritti. He will go after doing his Nitya Karma Anushtana. He will go in his street, 3-4 bhaktas, Bhagavatas houses. He will go and he will recite slokas. They will come out and place some rice, grain in his vessel. The moment he completes the rice for that day's food, for that day's quota, he will return. He will not say, okay, tomorrow if nobody gives, I have to save. So let me collect today itself for one more week. He would never do that. He will collect only for that day's morsel of food. And he will come and give it to his wife. She will make rice, sadam, whatever. He will offer to the Lord, Trivaradhana, and then partake the food. He chose to live in poverty because he had a vairagyam. He had vairagyam, detachment. And once there were many people who were jealous of this person's knowledge, vairagyam, bhakti, anushtanam, all that. And so one brahmachari, he wanted to get married. So he went to those people, say, please give me some wealth, gold, so that I will spend and get married. And they told the brahmachari boy, there is a person, Vedanta Desika, Venkatanatha, go to him, he will give, he has got a lot of money. They teased because he chose to live in poverty. He did not want to go after money because he was a person, yogi, jnani. For him, stone or gold is one and the same. So the brahmachari went and asked him. I went to the other people, they sent me to you. They said, you have a lot of money, you can help me. Vedanta Desika smiled. Okay, you want my help? Let's go. He took that brahmachari boy straight to Lord Goddess Ranganayaki's Sannidhi in Sriranga. He went to her Sannidhi and he then and there sang Sri Stuti, Manadita Pratita Vibhava Mangalam Mangalanam. There are 25 slokas. He recited then and there, he composed. There is one slokam there. Yasyam Yasyam Desi Vikarate Devi Drishtistudhiya Tasyam Tasyam Aham Ahamikam Danvate Sampado. Wherever Goddess Mahalakshmi looks at, there all kinds of wealth will go. That me first, me first. Whoever he looks, she looks at, there all wealth will come and go to them. Whether it is Santana Lakshmi or Bhagya Lakshmi or Virya Lakshmi, Aishwarya Lakshmi, whatever, they will go. And he said, he sang, finished the Sri Stuti, and then there were showering the rain of gold coins from the roof of the temple. Maybe 1,000 or 100, whatever. They fell on the floor. He told the brahmachari, whatever you want, take. And he returned empty-handed. He could have said, oh, I never knew that I would be able to generate so much gold. 50-50. He didn't say. He could have made immense wealth with his jnana, bhakti, vaira, but he chose to be like whom Krishna is talking about here. So he said, steady practitioner of karma yoga will select the sattvic part of the day, because Arjuna is asking how to practice yoga. He said, you have to choose a solitary silent place, remain alone without anyone with you, have the mind controlled, seated on a small higher elevated place, not on the floor, not very high. Like that he mentioned. We will talk about that sloka next week. And he says he should be seated motionless, steady, holding the head, neck and the spine in one vertical straight line. He can use a backrest so that he could sit without strain, without allowing his eyes to wander here and there, who is doing what, whether somebody is watching phone, don't look at that. And happy in mind, he should experience, happy in mind about experiencing the Atma, Sakshatkaram, the vision of the self, and firm in the vow of celibacy, the brahmacharya, controlling the mind, thinking of me, the Lord, as an enjoyable entity, fixing his mind on me. He should remain meditating on me. So he talks about all that. Brahmacharya here, the celibacy, is not to stay away as a brahmachari and not be a householder. Dharmic, being a dharmic grahastha is acceptable here. In Bhagavad Gita Vyakhyana, every acharya mentions that one can be a householder and still be a celibate, still adhere to brahmacharya. Means it is not to have a wrong, lustful desire on every Tom, Dick and Mary. So the mind has to be controlled. The mind cannot be subdued easily. Arjuna says, you are saying so easily, but the mind cannot be controlled easily. Arjuna speaks on my behalf, I know. He says, no, sanchalam hi mana Krishna. It is extremely sanchalam. I am not able to concentrate. It's very difficult for me. Krishna says, definitely, I agree. It's not easy. So, what do I do? Asamshayam mahabaho. There is no doubt that mind cannot be focused. Mind cannot be controlled. But one has to realize, contemplating on the self, one has to realize the infinite happiness to be gained from there. Nothing, these sukham, vishaya sukham, the sensory pleasures, the worldly pleasures, the carnal desires, the lustful desires are nothing compared to the vision of the self, the vision of the entity, the Lord. Nothing. So I know it's difficult to control the mind. Mind is like a horse. It will go haywire. You have to hold the reins. You have to have blinkers. You have to hold it tight. And he says, Abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagyena cha grihyate. Abhyasam, abhyasam, abhyasam. Practice, practice, practice. And kaunteya, he says, Vanandai, first he says, Ashamshayam Mahabaho, O strong-shouldered Arjuna, there is no doubt that mind cannot be controlled. There is no doubt. It's very difficult. I know. Sanchalam. But Kaunteya, Vanandai, the son of the kid of Kunti, Abhyasam and Vairagyam. With that you can accomplish. Practice. It's very difficult. Get back. Let it. When we try to learn bicycling, the cycling, you will fall on the left. Immediately the coach or whoever trains us will say, turn the handle to the right, and you will fall on the right. Turn the handle to the left little bit. Same with the car driving. So when it goes to the left, turn to the right. When it goes to the right, turn to the left. Slowly and steadily you will be able to manage and go straight. Similarly, the mind will go to the coffee, bring it back. Again, look at Lord Krishna. It will go to the Netflix, bring it back. Again, look at Lord Krishna. It will look at your child or something else. So look at Lord Krishna. Go, get back, and even if you take 2 minutes, 5 minutes, that's enough. So here he says there are 4 stages of yogis, because when Arjuna is asking how many types of yogis we have, there are 4 stages of yoga. The first stage, yogi sees equality among big, the Brahman, and small, the blade of grass, as Jivatma. They will see whether it is Chaturmukha Brahma or Devendra or Agni or a blade of grass, the insect. They all see everyone as the Jivatma. They will see. In the 29th slokam he mentions. Then the second one, that second stage of yogi matures into recognizing similarity of the nature with Parabrahman. They say Parabrahman is none other than the Lord. Parabrahman is none other than the nature. What I see as the world is nothing but Parabrahman, because it is his body. And the third yogi is firm in the worship of Bhagavan, who is the indweller in all beings. He is the indweller. Sarvabhuta sthitam yomam pajatyekatvam astitaha sarvata vartamanopi sa yogi mayi vartate. He says the yogi is steadfast in the worship as Bhagavan, as dwelling in all being. And the fourth stage, a stage is reached when he views the pleasures and the pains of others as his own. Vadiya paire kanda podellam vadine. Vallarar says, when he sees somebody suffers, he is unable to bear. And there is a song by Narsi Mehta, Vaishnava Janato. That's the mark of a Vaishnava. The person who is unable to bear the suffering of others. He is not able to bear the suffering of others. And he says a stage is reached when he views the pleasures and pains of others as his own. Even as one would not like to undergo suffering, one would not like to see other beings to suffer, to undergo any suffering. In fact, when one gets involved in the pleasure and pain of others, one will have no time to concentrate the mind and do yoga and the vision of the self. But what is advised here is, as we do not mind the pleasure or pain of our own, we should not get disturbed that somebody is having great time, they are buying a BMW car, so jealous. Somebody is suffering, so feel bad, suffer. Such things should not happen. We have equanimity. Control of mind does not come in a day. It requires a lot of effort and practice. So here one does not learn cycling in a day. One has to practice several days before we do effectively. So the chapter talks about several things. And here, if one were to think that the concentrating on the mind will bring all these things, and we will be able to ultimately have the vision of the self, and finally we would be definitely able to do that, and ultimately we would be able to see that we can accomplish the worshipping of Lord Krishna. Here he mentions, he, due to his overflowing love for me, overflowing preeti for me, because bhakti is none other than the love transformed into bhakti. He is unable to sustain himself without me, because at the end of the chapter he mentions that it slowly gets transformed into bhakti yoga. Yoginamapi sarvesha madgatena rantaratmana. So here he says his mind will be fixed on me. He is unable to put up with this separation from me. It gets into parabhakti, parajnana, paramabhakti. And even if it were for only a fraction of a moment, he is unable to bear the separation from me. He is ever eager to attain in me. After he realizes his Atma, he would like to reach me. Such a devotee pursues for higher means than others who are engaged in the material comforts, worldly pursuits, and I, who see everything in it, actually I would take care of that bhakti yoga, he mentions. So here Sri Krishna explains about this karma jnana yogam, which is transformed into a bhakti yoga. From the 7th chapter onwards, it talks about the bhakti yoga in the next 6 chapters. We will have a wonderful narration of the slokas in the next class. Adiyan Dhanyosmi. Kavitarkika Simhaya Kalyana Gunashaline Srimate Venkateshaya Vedanta Gurave Namaha.